Chris, you often hear about athletes and how they have to go into the zone, and that's how they pull off all these amazing feats of strength and endurance. But what is the zone?
And today on Riskin's Business, the real question is, can you measure the zone? Centuries ago, our ancestors were constantly on the move as a means of survival. Nowadays, we don't have to move around as much. Sitting at the desk all day or sitting in front of a TV camera, we're not really using the human body to its full potential. There are always exceptions. Extreme athletes across the planet are running and lifting and pushing themselves and the limits of their sports, and Walter Urban is one of them. You may not look at it first, but at 54 years old, he's got the Guinness World Record for endurance lifting. Over 127,000 pounds over the course of an hour. So, Walter, what is it you do exactly?
Well, I'm an amateur powerlifter, but I'm also a Guinness World Record endurance lifter, which means that I'll lift weights for very long periods of time. Might be 20 minutes, might be a half hour, might be an hour.
And so what's the secret to lifting that much weight?
Well, the secret is having good people around you, coaches that really can help you get to where you want to get to, training, and finding your zone when you're doing your training and your lifting.
What's it like to be in the zone?
So the zone is just that sweet spot out there where your world actually slows down.
To help him get into that zone, he turned to Sue Wilson, his mental performance coach. What is the zone?
Depends on the athlete, but every one of them will have a different feeling that goes with when they're performing well. The characteristics usually are you feel ready, excited. Some will tell you they're relaxed, but they're right in the present, in the moment, and they're really focused on what they're doing.
He's lifting weights, so that's a body skill, right?
Yes and no. Your brain interacts with your body, so what goes on in his head influences his body. So we've got to be able to control the body and the mind.
Now, Walter's doing 20 sets of 15 reps at 135 pounds. That's about 40,000 pounds of lifting in about 20 minutes, and we get to collect the data.
Right now, when I first start out, I'm thinking of a metronome. Developing my rhythm is so important. As I move from 10 minutes or 10 reps to the next set, I start to think of an Energizer bunny or any bunny, basically just going up and down and up and down and up and down.
While Walter lifts more than 2,000 pounds a minute, we're watching to see if you can actually measure the zone.
Heart rate?
169.
Easy deep breath.
This guy's a machine. We're tracking his heart rate and his temperature to see how hard his body is working when he's lifting and when he's not. The time between sets is just as important for his performance.
Shoulders, arms, all the way to the trunk. Just let go, all the way to the seat. So the idea, though, is in between sets, what he does is get it absolutely efficient, recovered as he can, so then he can go back full force.
So he needs to be able to fire up the muscles when he's using them, and then he
and
needs
the
to
brain.
just shut right down.
Exactly, exactly. What's important is that his heart rate is going down about 10 beats when he's sitting down, so he's getting good recovery.
His heart rate drops 10 beats per minute the instant he sits down, except for when he gets distracted by his leg bandage. Sort of incredible then that just stressing about how his bandage was done up got his heart rate up even more than doing the weightlifting.
Yeah, and that was really cool to see.
Okay, but if your heart rate's high when you're doing exercise, that should be a good thing, shouldn't it?
The reality is he's wasting beats, he's wasting energy if it's too high. If I can do the same job with less work, I've got more energy to last longer.
Using the weight of the bar, the height of each lift, and how long it takes Walter to do these lifts, I can calculate exactly how much power his body is producing. It's about 150 watts, or 0.2 horsepower, and that is pretty incredible. There it is.
300 reps, I think.
There you go. So now Walter's lifting weights in a more traditional way. Small numbers of sets, increasing weight over time. Let's just see how this goes. This is more traditional weightlifting, where he lifts increasing amounts of weight until his body just can't do it anymore.
And then as soon as I walk up to the bar, I'm just thinking of the weight in my mind, seeing a visual of myself lifting that weight, no matter what the weight is.
Walter soon doubles the amount of weight he was lifting, and then he triples it. This is exactly 3 times the weight you were doing consistently.
Yes.
Soon, he's lifting 405 pounds. Even the slightest jolt to his mental game could throw him off. Don't hurt yourself.
Nope, I wouldn't do it unless I thought I could do it.
Okay.
You never tell him don't hurt yourself because the word doesn't, the word don't doesn't register in the brain. So you just told him to hurt himself.
Oh, good. It'll be my fault.
Yes.
Gotcha. To lift 405 pounds just once, his body uses more than 200 watts. That's double what your typical laptop uses, and that is not sustainable. Yeah, we might not be using our bodies for hunting and gathering anymore, but when you look at someone like Walter using his body to hunt and gather Guinness records, you get some idea of what can happen when you can use your body and your mind in concert. So cool.